Hello there, and welcome back for another passage in our informational text section. This one is considerably longer and more difficult. So we started off with a passage about the seasons, and let me just remind you of what that looked like. And then we looked at a passage about the American flag. And then now we are looking at this longer, more advanced passage about the 7 wonders of the world. So if you haven't done the first 2 lessons, you need to stop this video and go back to do those, because those are going to be easier and allow you to learn the skill a little bit more easily. But once you're ready, let's take a look at page 23. And we will fill in this space in just a little while. We're going to leave that blank for now. And I'm going to read this passage for you all the way through. I want you to pay attention to the punctuation marks and to my voice when I come to those punctuation marks. So this passage is called the 7 Wonders of the World. There is a lot of new vocabulary in this passage, so a lot of these words may be unfamiliar to you. We will work on those. And if you have questions about these, you can certainly call me. But let me just read it. I'm not going to mark it or anything. Let's just read the story. 7 Wonders of the World. In the year 2007, the 7 wonders of the world were redefined. These man-made structures are a testament to the mental and physical powers of human beings. Long before the invention of computers and other technological advances, people were building structures that are still wonders to us today. The Great Wall of China is about 5,500 miles long and took 2,000 years to build. The wall has a series of watchtowers and barracks. It has proven to be a poor security device, but it is an amazing thing to see. Chichen Itza is a Mayan city in Mexico that was active in the 9th and 10th centuries. The city has many monuments and temples. One of them is a pyramid that is 79 feet tall. On 2 days of the year, the pyramid casts a shadow that looks like a snake slithering down its stairs. The city of Petra is in Jordan. It has roots in the Bible days of Moses and has been a capital city for an Arabic tribe. Temples and tombs change color as sunlight changes. A series of earthquakes caused the city to be abandoned. Machu Picchu is an Incan site in Peru in South America. This ancient citadel is high in the Andes Mountains and has temples, terraces, and plazas built by ancient architects. Machu Picchu may have been a religious site or a vacation area for royal families. It was founded around 1450 and discovered by modern historians in 1911. The Christ the Redeemer statue is in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I'm sorry, I misread that. Let me start over. The Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, is another wonder of the world. The statue of Christ stands 124 feet tall. Construction began in 1926 and took 5 years to complete. It is made of reinforced concrete and covered in over 6 million tiles. The Colosseum in Rome was built in the 1st century. It was the site of many brutal games and executions, and some estimate that 500,000 people died in the structure. The Colosseum is 620 feet by 513 feet with a seating capacity of 50,000 people. The Taj Mahal is a monument in Agra, India. It was built in 1631 to honor the emperor's wife who died in childbirth. The construction took 22 years and employed 20,000 people. There is an immense garden and a mausoleum with semi-precious stones in beautiful patterns. This is a lot of reading. My voice is tired because this is much more than what we're used to. We have been just doing one paragraph, so we've just been annotating a short paragraph. And I'm wondering as you look at this if there's anything that stands out to you. I did this on purpose because I wanted to point out a very common mistake. When we write essays, long passages, we need to indent the first lines of these paragraphs. So notice, and I do not want you to draw this. I'm going to use a color that we don't normally use just so I can point this out to you. Let me just use this really dark gray. Do you see this area right here? This is called an indentation. And there's one in this paragraph. That's good. We want to indent properly. And then when I got to the third paragraph, did you notice that I did not indent? I left the space, but I needed to move this line over. This line needs to move over. And I wanted you to see what this looks like when it is not correct. So when you write your essay on your high school equivalency test, if that's your goal, or your essay for a professor, make sure that you're moving those first lines over. This particular passage is fine for the first two, but those remaining 6 paragraphs are not okay. So I wanted to point that out. I'm going to erase those because I don't have a lot of room, but just so you know that rule. Okay, let's zoom in here and do some annotating. And I always start with green because that is my topic. In 2 or 3 words, it's going to take a little more than that this time. How about 5 words? This paragraph is about the 7 wonders of the world. And hopefully you've noticed a pattern here. If you have a title, that will most always give you your topic. Not always, but it usually will give you the topic. So there's our topic. Let's go to our main idea. So what are they trying to tell me about these 7 wonders of the world? There's something, a point they're trying to make. And here it is. It's pretty long this time. Long before, I'm going to say technological advances, because that covers computers, people were building structures that are still wonders to us today. So they're telling me that these structures are very old. They were not built with computer software. They were built by people, and that we're still amazed by these structures today. How many wonders are there? There are 7. So I'm going to look for 7 keywords or key phrases. The first wonder they tell me about is the Great Wall of China. And then we have Chichen Itza. We have the city of Petra. We have Machu Picchu. We have Christ the Redeemer. And notice that's in italics because that's the title of a statue. We've studied that rule. We have the Colosseum and the Taj Mahal. So we should have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things in yellow. Those are the 7 wonders. So then let's go back and get our details. Starting in this first passage, I'm going to highlight just a few more things. They're man-made structures. We had before the invention of computers. If we look at the Great Wall of China, it tells us that it's this long and this long to build. That there are watchtowers and barracks, and we're going to talk about barracks in just a minute. It actually is a poor security device. It didn't do much to help with security, but it is actually pretty amazing to see. Okay, Chichen Itza was a Mayan city in Mexico. It was active in the 9th and 10th centuries. There were monuments and temples, a pyramid that is 79 feet tall. On 2 days of the year, the pyramid casts a shadow that looks like a snake slithering down the stairs. Okay, the city of Petra is in Jordan. Roots in the Bible days of Moses. It has been a capital city for an Arabic tribe. It has temples and tombs that change color as the sunlight changes, and earthquakes caused it to be abandoned. Machu Picchu is an Incan site in Peru in South America. It is an ancient citadel. It is in the Andes Mountains. It has temples, terraces, and plazas. It may have been a religious site or a vacation area. It was founded in 1450, discovered by modern historians in 1911. Christ the Redeemer is a statue in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It is 124 feet tall. Construction began in 1926, took 5 years. It is made of reinforced concrete and covered in 6 million tiles. The Colosseum is in Rome. It was built in the 1st century. There were brutal games and executions. Some estimate that 500,000 people died in the Colosseum. 620 feet by 513 feet with a seating capacity of 50,000. And then finally, the Taj Mahal is a monument. It's in Agra, India, built in 1631 to honor the emperor's wife who died in childbirth. 22 years to construct, 20,000 people to build, an immense garden and a mausoleum, and semi-precious stones. So we are going to come back and talk about these vocabulary words. I'm also going to give you a little bit more information about the centuries and things that you need to know. But I am going to stop this video because it's getting very long. And I'll see you back in the next segment and we'll talk a little bit more about this lesson.